Lok Sabha elections are highly competitive. In 2019, on average, 15 candidates contested for each seat. For Rajya Sabha, though, of the 57 seats that are falling vacant between June and August this year, 41 seats have already been won unopposed. Elections will be held for the remaining 16 on Friday. Why does Rajya Sabha have such a high number of unopposed seats? Who elects these MPs and how? Watch this video to find out. The composition of the Rajya Sabha and the manner of election is meant to allow Rajya Sabha to fulfill its role as a second chamber and represent the interest of the states. Rajya Sabha MPs are elected by the MLAs of the state that they represent. They have a tenure of 6 years and it is composed in such a way that 1/3 Rajya Sabha MPs retire every 2 years. This allows Rajya Sabha to always exist as a permanent house. Compared to Lok Sabha, a different system has been adopted for election of members to Rajya Sabha. It involves a minimum number of votes called the quota that each candidate must get and a system of preferences and transfer of votes. This is how it works. First, each MLA's vote is given the value of 100. Then the minimum number of votes required by each candidate to win is calculated. This is done by dividing the total number of valid votes cast in a state by the number of vacant seats plus 1. And another point is added to the result. Let's say that 10 Rajya Sabha seats are vacant in a state with 100 MLAs. We will assume that all MLAs cast their votes and all votes are valid. Then the quota comes to 100 times 100 divided by 11, which is equal to 909, plus 1, which is equal to 910. Now each candidate must secure at least 910 value votes in the first round of counting. Are the MLAs free to decide whom they vote for? Well, the process for electing Rajya Sabha MPs is in fact not confidential. Every political party which has its members as MLAs can appoint an authorized agent to verify as to whom its members have voted. The authorized agent sits inside the polling station. MLAs have to show their marked ballot to the authorized agent before casting their vote. This means that the way that the MLAs vote is primarily decided by the party composition of an assembly. Let's go back to our example and suppose that of the 100 MLAs, 60 belong to party A, 30 to party B, and 10 to party C. That is, party A has a total of 6,000 value of votes, party B has 3,000, and party C has 1,000. Bringing back a quota of 910 votes, we can see that party A can clearly elect 6 MPs, party B 3, and party C 1 MP. This shows that the final list of Rajya Sabha MPs elected at any point is a representation of the strength of the parties in the assembly at that given time. Such a system of voting makes it easy to predict the number of seats a party will win in the Rajya Sabha elections based on the party seat share in the states. For this reason, parties only field as many candidates as the seats that they are confident to win. And that is why many seats are won unopposed, as we just saw in this example. In states where the party composition is more complex and not all seats can be clearly won, parties field more candidates than the number of vacancies, and so the elections take place. Let's go back to our example one more time. Only this time, let's assume that while party A has 55 MLAs, party B has 25 MLAs, party C has 15, and 5 MLAs are independent. The value of vote of each party would change like this. In this case, while it is clear how 9 MPs can be elected, there is one seat that could go to anybody. So what happens to the votes of the independent and the other votes that may be left over? There is another feature of the Rajya Sabha elections that allows such votes to be counted. This is by transferring of votes. Unlike Lok Sabha elections, MLA don't only just vote for a single candidate. Instead, they mark a list of preferences against multiple candidates in the fray. So far, we've only talked about the first round of counting, where the first preference votes are counted. When a candidate doesn't get enough votes in the first round of counting, a second round takes place. In this round, the candidate with the least number of votes is excluded. The votes cast for him are transferred to the second preference marked on each ballot. This means that the parties that didn't have enough strength to elect a candidate in the first round still get the opportunity of representing their vote in the second round. This is why this year there will be a contest in 4 states: Maharashtra, Karnataka, Rajasthan, and Haryana. For more information on Parliament and state legislatures, visit our website prsindia.org.